Our story today focuses on gold. There may come a day when Japan will once again be called the land of gold. Gold continues to hit new highs. Global competition for the precious metal is intensifying in anticipation of it going even higher. Where are the untapped gold reserves? One place attracting attention is Japan. International operators have started searching for gold across Japan with the latest technology.
I'm excited about Japan, and I think there's a lot more of this in Japan that we just haven't found yet.
What potential is there in Japan, which has been called a resource-poor country? We look at the so-called modern-day gold rush.
This prospecting site is in the mountainous Yamagano district of Kirishima City, Kagoshima Prefecture. The Japanese affiliate of a Canadian resource exploration firm has discovered a new vein of gold here.
I believe this area is one of the world's rarest places, with many high-grade gold mines.
This is a piece of ore dug up here in 2024. It contained up to 45.9 grams of gold per ton. That's about 10 times the average amount recovered from major gold mines abroad. Yamagano was a booming gold mining town from the Edo period, but the mine was closed after World War II as it gradually became unprofitable. The reason the Canadian firm has an eye on the district lies in another mine in the same prefecture. The Hishikari gold mine is the only one operating in Japan. The amount of gold extracted from each ton of ore here ranks among the highest in the world. It produces 3.5 tons of gold annually. There used to be many gold mines in this part of northwestern Kagoshima Prefecture. The firm is betting on finding gold deep beneath the ground there with the latest technology.
Potential に対して、十分な探査が行われてない可能性が高いと。やっぱり一山当てたいですよね。
Geophysical surveys have helped reveal the gold veins. The key is low electrical conductivity. In Japan, gold is often contained in quartz, a mineral with poor electrical conductivity. The firm first surveyed around a former mining tunnel that overlaps an area with low conductivity. As the survey extends down to 700 meters, the areas with poor electrical conductivity were found further to the east.
We assume that in Yamagano Field, gold-bearing veins are distributed deeper as we get further east.
Based on this and other research, they drilled test holes and found gold right where they predicted.
So from this image here, we can basically
By repeating the surveys, they aim to improve the accuracy of their data to locate veins containing larger amounts of gold.
Along there. Because each time we're drilling, every day I'm collecting information from the drill core. I input data into my model, and the model gets better and better. You get more confident about where those potential high gold grade zones are.
The residents of the district are also hopeful.
皆さんどうもおはようございます。宮武でございます。
These biannual explanatory meetings always attract a healthy crowd.
400メーター超のところで、いい金の彫刻を捕まえてございます。
With depopulation an issue in Yamagano, people are pinning their hopes for regional revitalization on the surveys, believing a revival of gold mining would help boost employment and tourism.
採掘が始まるおよそのご予定といいますか、そこあたりはどうなんでしょうか。
これは素晴らしいという鉱脈があるかないかっていうのをまだ調べてるところなんですよ。今日はだってもやっぱり5年後とか6年後とか最速でなるのかなと。
The local government also hopes that if mining restarts, additional tax revenues can be expected, including from the mineral product tax that's imposed on the sale of gold.
New tax revenues would be very much appreciated. I hope full-fledged mining can start as soon as possible.
Separately from the firm surveying in Yamagano, other foreign-owned companies are exploring Japan's gold nationwide. This Canadian company came to Japan 13 years ago.
All of a sudden, there's a new search space for us. So that was how, so I got more enthusiastic and I said, we have to go now.
The decisive factor was a 2011 revision to the country's Mining Act. To mine for and extract underground minerals, applicants are required to obtain mining rights. Previously, there had been no regulations to check that they had adequate technical capabilities and financing. But the revision imposed these requirements to enable only businesses with development abilities to proceed. This company has gained the rights to gold exploration in 380 places across Japan. Currently, at least 3 foreign-owned firms are exploring gold in the country. All of them entered the business after the law was revised. This company has so far invested over $70 million. It believes there are major business opportunities in Japan.
It's underexplored or a new frontier. I think there's a lot more of this in Japan that we just haven't found yet. Or we wouldn't take the risk because we think it's worth it and Japan's worth it.
A gold boom is sweeping Japan, with many people eager to dig for their fortunes. This is solid gold bullion. These 3 bars are worth nearly $465,000 in total, which means each is about $155,000. This weighs a kilo. It feels heavy in many senses. The price of gold has more than doubled in the past 2 years, and many countries, especially emerging nations, are making efforts to enhance their national standing with gold.
Working with a private company, the government of the Southeast Asian country of Laos launched a bullion bank in 2024. The bank handles gold, but not currency. People in Laos have traditionally treasured gold. They give the precious metal as gifts or wear it as jewelry. The Bullion Bank collects gold from people in the form of deposits. The aim is to curb inflation caused by the global cost of living crisis and the decline of the currency, the Laotian kip. Laos hopes that having greater gold reserves will help it become a more trustworthy country and get through tough economic times.
We aim to raise the value of the currency and win international trust through the wise use of the gold people have deposited at our bank.
1 year after the bank's launch, more than 2 tons of gold have been deposited. It's worth almost $300 million. Elsewhere, there are downsides to the growing demand. Take the example of Ghana, Africa's largest gold producer. Gold accounted for over half of the country's exports by value in 2024. Ghana has used it to increase its national status. But what's happening at mining sites is out of the government's control. Illegal mining is on the rise. A group of illegal miners agreed to give an NHK crew access to their work on condition that the location remains secret. Five people manually dug up 0.6 grams of gold on the day the crew visited. They say it's worth about $65. In a country where poverty is a major problem, illegal mining has become a way to earn money quickly.
Around 6:30, yeah. If the work is good, that place is nice. Yeah, we can get like this one, 5.
But the unauthorized mining is causing environmental pollution.
Here the dust, we put in the mercury. The gold is dusty, we need to put the mercury inside.
Is it dangerous, you think?
It's very dangerous when you take it inside.
Untreated wastewater containing harmful mercury is released into the environment. According to a report by the World Bank, small-scale mining is conducted in 80 countries, and 80 to 90% of it is done illegally. In Ghana, protests are spreading to demand an end to illegal mining and compensation for people who've been affected. But the miners say they are undeterred by the protests.
They have been complaining, but we have to do it because there's less job in the country.
Do you feel bad?
Yeah, we feel bad, but we need to do it.
Yeah.
We feel bad.
For more on illegal mining in Ghana and the intensifying race for gold, please visit the NHK website. Our guests today are international finance expert Negishi Shoko and Kawamura Youhei, who is well versed in mining technology. As we just saw, illegal mining is rampant. Professor Negishi, why has the competition for gold become so intense?
It's because gold is the most reliable asset at the moment. The conflict in Ukraine and the Middle East situation are making people increasingly uncertain about the global economic outlook. Also, the United States has lowered its key interest rate and plans massive tax cuts to stimulate the economy under President Donald Trump. These measures make the dollar less attractive. Against this backdrop, countries around the world are switching their foreign reserves, in other words, their savings, from the declining dollar to gold, which is a safe, more stable asset.
Let's see how countries are stocking up on gold. Many have been rapidly increasing their reserves in recent years. Here is a list of nations increasing their gold reserves. Poland is on top. What can you tell us from these rankings?
Due to the situation in Ukraine, Poland is urgently expanding its military budget, which is now about 4% of GDP. It's increasing gold reserves because the asset is considered stable, as it needs money to finance defense spending. India and China are members of the BRICS organization, and Turkey is close to those countries. They have been stocking up on gold for several years now as part of their attempts to detach themselves from America and the dollar. More precisely, from the US-led international order and global financial systems that have been based on the dollar.
Countries around the world are rushing to gold now, and a big reason is that deposits of the precious metal are finite. The amount of gold that has been mined so far is enough to fill 4 50-metre-long and 25-metre-wide Olympic swimming pools. Now, only 50,000 tonnes of deposits around the world remain untapped, which is equivalent to just one more pool. Companies looking for what remains are setting their eyes on Japan. Apart from Kagoshima Prefecture, which we saw in the report, surveys are being conducted in 34 locations nationwide, mainly by 3 foreign-owned firms. We're going to hear from Professor Kawamura about the challenges mining companies face when digging for gold in Japan. The first concerns access and depth. How to ensure transportation to deliver gold ore to refining sites, and how to finance the cost of digging deep underground and getting the metal to the refinery. Secondly, the cost of protecting the environment.
It concerns the concept of environmental harmony. Mining operations generally pollute groundwater. So operators need to install water treatment equipment. Also, they have to consider the longer-term cost as pollution continues even after a mine is closed.
Measures against pollution require long-term spending. Is there also a problem with the concentration of gold in the ore?
The average concentration of gold per ton of rocks is said to be between 3 and 5 grams in mines outside Japan. I've heard that the real figure is between 1 and 5 grams. Either way, this level of concentration is sufficient to run a profitable mine. The Hishikari mine has an average of 20 grams, an extraordinary level. In Yamagano, up to 45 grams of gold were found, but this is the maximum amount, and we still do not know the average in the area. All these factors are related to cost. Mining companies need to compare estimated operational costs with potential earnings based on gold prices. If they conclude they can surpass the break-even point, they can give the go-ahead to their projects.
Ongoing surveys are mainly being conducted by foreign firms. If they start mining gold, will all the profit go to them, with nothing left in Japan?
Yes, that is an understandable concern, but mine development will be carried out by other companies. They may be foreign, they may be Japanese. Landowners will receive money by selling or leasing their land. Local governments can levy a tax on mine operators. Not everything will be taken out of the country. There is a strong conviction that resources should be developed and utilized domestically. But that has been impossible for years. Gold prices had remained low for various reasons, making mining it unprofitable. All the while, mining technology advanced significantly outside Japan.
Japan lags behind in mining technology, but the country is a global leader in another field. Gold is used for a wide range of purposes, as a financial asset and in jewelry. It's also found in electronic circuit boards, including in computers. Japan is ahead of other countries in recycling those in order to recover the gold. But fierce competition has reached this field too.
This recycling smelter is in northern Akita Prefecture. It refines about 20 kinds of valuable metal, including gold.
CPU だったりとか。
The plant extracts the metals from e-waste, such as old PC motherboards. The company says e-waste may contain 10 to 100 times more gold than natural ore. The company extracts the gold by applying heat and electricity. On this day, recycled gold was made into 4 ingots, each weighing 12.5 kilograms, with a total market value of well over $6.4 million.
Gold prices are soaring, so we want to make sure we get items that have a high gold content so we can increase our recovery rate.
The company has mostly imported the e-waste it uses, but that's recently become increasingly difficult.
欧州の件でいうと、物の流れとかはどうですか？
今のところ、一応欧州に、滞留するものが多くなったというところなので、物が、止まっているというところはあるかなと思います。
Since January 2025, the European Union has tightened restrictions on the transfer of e-waste beyond its borders. As an environmental front-runner, the EU says that tighter controls are aimed at promoting recycling within the EU. As a result, it's taking much longer to screen applications for export to Japan, which also drives up costs. Other parts of the world are also introducing export restrictions.
タイとかシンガポール、インドに関しましては、輸出の許可が必要になってきますので。
With many countries stepping up export controls, the company is now looking for new suppliers in Latin America and Eastern Europe, regions it has not previously focused on, to secure gold.
In the mid to long term, over the next 10 years or so, global competition for e-waste is only expected to get tougher. We also expect countries to move to lock up supplies and introduce increasingly tight export restrictions. This is our laboratory.
As e-waste becomes increasingly difficult to obtain, this startup is attracting attention for a new recycling technology it has developed.
This is a species of algae that lives in hot springs.
He showed us gold recycling equipment. It uses a unique species of algae that absorbs gold. E-waste solutions are filtered through tubes filled with particles made from those algae. This allows gold to be absorbed by the particles. Finally, the gold is extracted by burning away the particles. With the technology in the final stages of development, the company has had a flood of inquiries from abroad.
A firm in India contacted us and said that until now, it has sold e-waste to major companies in Japan and Europe. But it is now looking to recycle materials within its own supply chain to extract gold.
India has a thriving IT industry. It ranks third in the world in the amount of e-waste it produces, including smartphones. But the idea of recycling it domestically hasn't really taken off. The Indian company expressed strong interest in using the algae technique to recycle gold from e-waste without exporting it.
Some of our customers are realizing They've thrown away e-waste containing gold worth as much as $6,000 or up to nearly $13,000 each month. There's a lot of gold out there waiting to be extracted.
Are Japanese recycling technologies promising?
Yes, they are the best in the world. So what we see happening is gold produced naturally from mines flowing into the market in the form of PC motherboards, which are in turn recycled into gold again. It's important to make sure this cycle of production and recycling continues to make effective use of resources.
Professor Negishi, what do you think about the future of gold, and what do you hope it will be like?
With the U.S. absent as a global leader and the United Nations paralyzed, stability in the international order is hard to assess. And with a turnaround in U.S. policies looking unlikely, it's very possible that the world will continue to rely on gold as the safest asset, and as a result, prices will continue to rise. But let me point out that the ongoing surge in gold prices is quite abnormal and reflects a heightened level of anxiety about the global situation. It would be desirable for us to return to a world in which we no longer feel compelled to rely so much on gold.
I sincerely hope that can happen. Thank you both very much. Today, we've looked at both the good and bad aspects of gold. We're often captivated by its glitter, but should also pay attention to the darker side. Gold fascinates us. However, the current surge in prices has a lot to do with events happening in the world that are anything but glorious. I'm hoping that in the Year of the Horse, we'll soon see a world in which gold prices calm down.